lastly here, that's Uvalde footage last night. Did you know there was a reporter from Austin who broke that story? Fucking exploded.
No, I don't know. I didn't really pay much attention to where the information came from. I was just watching the video and I saw.
Did you? Yeah, I was going to ask you. Did you get to see the whole video?
The narrative has been for the past month or so, I guess, that from the appeaser side, I guess, or the apologist side, is that they didn't have the equipment or whatever to get in.
Correct.
Turns out that is 100% untrue. Yep. About 45 or 50 minutes, you have two dudes with ARs and their shields.
48 minutes, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So in addition to that, the door to the classroom was not locked at all. So they didn't need any specific breaching equipment. All they needed was they had everything they needed for almost an hour. Mm-hmm. And from what we can tell, I think there were 6 additional shots fired in that time period, which you would assume means 6 additional children got killed.
So I didn't get to see the video. I was glued to the television watching the description from the local Austin reporter last night, who had seen the video and shared the screenshot, and that's kind of where the story broke. And as soon as I saw that screenshot, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. And then he went through the timeline of it yesterday on the news, and it was pretty fucking crazy. I think the last question that is unanswered, which I would have to hear with audio. Did you hear it with audio? You can put that picture up on screen if you want, Bob.
Yeah, so these are the guys. You see those two in the front there. Those are shields with weapons attached to them. They had everything they needed to go in. And my understanding is from both people who were there that day and from the most recent media coverage from today is that the cops were asking to go in repeatedly, and the on-scene commander was telling them no. That's
what I heard as well. And if that's the case, who's right and wrong in this situation, I guess?
The most important thing that you learn in combat is that is violence of action. Like the more quickly and violently you act, the less damage you will take and the more damage you will inflict. And that's what we learned about school shootings, all the analysis of school shootings over the past, 30 years since Columbine, 25, 27 years, I guess. Everything we've learned is that you interdict immediately. You don't wait around. You go in and kill the dude. Whatever it takes, whatever you have to do to get in there and kill that dude, because every second matters.
Yeah, because the only thing that I keep thinking is...
And by the way, that's what every law enforcement officer that gets trained on this, that's what they get taught. That's the first thing that if you go through any of these courses, which I imagine quite a few of these guys, if not most or all police officers, if you haven't been through this, what the fuck is going on? But the first thing the first thing you're taught is immediately get in there as fast as possible. I'm curious as to why they didn't tell this on-scene commander to go fuck himself, because I certainly would have.
That was the question I was about to ask you. Because what happens if you do in that situation?
Less kids die.
No, I understand that. But would you be fired? Like,
maybe.
But mentally.
But I've been in combat operations where we were told to stop and we fucking kept going because we knew it was the right thing to do. And if somebody wants to armchair me later on, then they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah. What was the repercussions for you personally?
Nothing, because we were right.
Okay. And did he say that to you, like your commander?
No, come on, man.
I don't know the answer.
That's not how that works. They just accept that you were right and move on with their life. So they don't no.
Okay.
No higher ranking person is going to ever come to you and say, oh, you were right about that.
Gotcha.
That's not how that works. Like, you're in the job to do that specifically. You're in the job to stop the worst possible shit from happening. And when you had the opportunity to do it, you sat around with your hands in your pockets. Waiting for what?
Yeah.
For fucking Jesus to show up? And what the fuck were you waiting for, man? I
don't
buy that. I'm getting sick and tired of all these motherfuckers out there that are defending these people. Fuck every single one of you that are defending these people. That is absolutely unconscionable that you would take the side of grown men who signed up to do this fucking job, who have all the armor, all the gear, all the fucking shields, all the guns that they need to get in there, and they just fucking sat there for 48 minutes while more kids got killed. Like, fuck you, dude. That entire police department should be fired immediately, right, and replaced by Texas DPS until they can stand up an actual police organization there. It's a fucking joke.
Put this picture up on screen one more time, Bob, real quick. Okay, so with this, Dan, when you have all this equipment and all these guns and everything, and you're physically inside the building at this point, why feel the need to wait for? Because I think they said they were waiting for BORTAC potentially, or somebody else to come in. Why would you need to if you have all the shit right there?
That's a good question.
That's what I thought of when I watched that last night. I was like, I don't even understand the need to tell your people, if that was the case, of the commander to stand down and wait for somebody else to get there. If you have all the shit,
if I'm in that hallway and I'm the senior ranking guy, or if I'm just in that hallway in general and we were all sitting there, I'm like, hey, we're going. Like and somebody says, oh, let me get clearance. Like, fuck you, dude, we're going.
Right.
Like, you never do that shit. You don't ask permission, you ask forgiveness in this situation.
And that's what everybody's asking today, as people are looking at the video and the images that are being floated around. Is the video live? Have you, like, where did you see it?
Fuck, I don't remember. I think it was on Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter?
Yeah, I think so.
And was there audio to it? Did they?
I didn't hear any audio. I didn't see, or I didn't hear anything. No.
Okay. Because the guy who broke the story, the reporter from Austin, he said he heard the audio. And so what he was reporting on yesterday was he said the officers just kept asking, can we go in? Can we go in? Can we go in?
That's what I read that part in the article, yeah.
Okay. And they were told no, but the reasons were unclear at this point. And what he had stated last night, because he was on in the afternoon and then later on that night, was that obviously the investigation is ongoing, and I'm sure this commanding officer will be fucking grilled for why he said no or don't go in. But as the days go by and this thing gets bigger and bigger, man, this is fucking insane.
You can, one of those pictures where it shows them all stacked up, you can actually see the timestamp. It's that one right there. Put that up on screen right quick. See that? That's how we know. That's how we know it was 48 minutes.
Correct.
That they were standing in that hallway with all the gear that they needed to fucking get inside there. People have made the points that they didn't have the equipment to do a dynamic entry on a classroom. Motherfucker, I'll go through that wall. Like, you can't get through the door, go through the fucking wall. What are you talking about? It's not. What do you think these things are? These schools are not. It's drywall and shit.
Right.
Half the time. You know what I mean? So I don't buy any of those excuses. I've heard them. I know people on our own network have fucking made excuses for them. I don't buy any of that bullshit. That's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Absolute nonsense.
On that timestamp, Bob, you can put it up one more time. So it does say 11:52, and the kid was killed at 12:50. So yes, it was 48 minutes. Pretty much exactly. I'm sorry? 5:08. Yeah, whatever. Add 48 to it. So yeah, that's when he was killed. Plus 48. Yeah. So it was 48 minutes exactly, which is a long fucking time. And to have all this equipment, because this is the other angle of it right here, to have all of this shit for 48 minutes and just be sitting outside the doors is pretty nuts, dude.
Yeah, like I understand that you sit there and ask repeatedly for clearance to go in. After the first time I ask, I get suspicious and angry, and after the second time I don't get clearance to go in, I go in anyway.
No.
And that's what they should have done. It's not armchair quarterbacking when I've been there. Fuck you. Do your job.